Welcome back, everyone, to this interview series with some of my lovely Backstage members. You have probably seen that the doors to my Backstage membership are now officially open, and we're welcoming new members in. The doors close on Tuesday. So in the meantime, I thought it'd be really helpful for those of you who are sitting on the fence and not sure whether this is the right thing for you to do, that we would chat to some of the Backstage members and you can hear about their story. And this afternoon, I'm chatting with Elaine. Welcome, Elaine.
Good afternoon.
Hi. Do you want to kick us off by talking about how you found breaking ballet initially?
Sure. As most people are these days, frequent social media quite a bit, particularly Facebook, and wasn't particularly looking for anything new exercise-wise. Even though we were going through a pandemic, I was still managing to do some things such as boot camp via Zoom with some of my colleagues, and Zumba and other exercise things, yoga. But it came up in one of my suggestions, and there were other things as well, but this one particularly seemed to just grab my attention. Ballet, I think, had always been close to my heart, something that had been part of my life for so long, and sort of really, I didn't choose to leave ballet. It was just something that life got in the way. And so it always been something that as a form of exercise and activity, love to dance, but the actual disciplines of ballet, I really used to miss. They suited my body in particular. So I was attracted to that, and the fact that we could experience a taste a week, just as you've been doing the 5-day challenge. I did a similar thing, and it was just it was a no-brainer to try it and just see if it was something that suited me and that I could add into my existing life. So I did.
And that challenge that you did, of course, during that challenge, I will have started talking about Backstage. And what was it that prompted you to join Backstage? Do you remember?
Well, I think during the 5 days, you kind of get a little bit of a taster of the kind of people who are joining in, the existing members, as well as newbies such as myself. Your own approach, Sarah, and some of the possibilities that you could go further within the membership. And I think the thing I liked about it was, as well as the workouts being very, very easy to integrate into a typical day, even a manic day, you can manage, a few minutes of a day, even if you have to adapt it slightly. And I think that's what I liked. It was easy to understand, and also the community spirit. As the days went on, I realized that this was more than just being left with a few videos to sort of manipulate around, or it was something that you could actually feel that is part of it becomes part of you, and you have the option to contribute towards that similar community as well.
Yeah, I love that. Lots of the members are talking about the community this week, which is lovely. And now you've been in Backstage for a little while. What would you like to share about transformations that you have noticed, whether that's physical, emotional, mental? What do you enjoy about Backstage? Just share your experience.
I look forward to the consistency. It's actually really created a routine and consistency in my life without it being, again, sort of too onerous and too difficult. I'm a mum. I've got 3 boys who are growing, who are adult, but they all still live at home. I've got a husband who's a workaholic, and they all sort of have demands. That finding something that you can sort of feel that's part of you, that helps you grow mentally, emotionally, and helps you physically feel better. I think that was the appeal, and the community that I saw in the 5 days, that and the potential of so much more made me think, well, I'm going to try it for a month. So I signed up for the monthly payment option, and it's not even crossed my mind as to whether I wanted to continue or not. It was just an automatic roll-on thing. So I'm more than happy for that to be, it's now a fixture in my life. It's a daily, brushing your teeth, you don't even think about brushing your teeth anymore, but you do it because you're future-proofing the health of your teeth, gums, and so that your mouth looks a bit better. And it's just like that, the community are all very supportive, and in turn you feel the urge to support back, so it brings the best out in you, it brings a positivity out. It's definitely brought more positivity and calm, because there's consistency there. Physically speaking, the other activities that I do, I run, and yoga, as I say, and Zumba, and a lot of dancing. I've found that my body is able to cope on a more consistent level with any form of exercise I throw myself at. And I can only say that it's got to be sort of the Backstage membership and the ballet workouts that are helping to keep my body in that kind of condition.
That's great. So you're feeling stronger and a little bit more resilient. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And what more could we want as we're going through the aging process?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, having that strength. And I talk a lot about, strong body is strong mind. And I love the way that you have just described that being part of that community is bringing out the best in you. I think that's a really nice way of looking at it, because I know that the ladies inside Backstage are incredibly supportive of one another. And I like to think that, that is bringing out the best in each individual. Even if you're having a bad day, you might read something and think, actually, no, that's cheered me up a little bit, or inspired me to step forward and help someone else, which feels good. It feels good to do that. Yeah, absolutely.
I think also, the fact that, yes, we're coming out of various lockdowns in various parts of the world, and people are thinking, well, I can start getting back to the gym, getting back to my yoga classes and things like that. But the world is not going to go back to the exact way it was. There are always now going to be things that we need to consider. And I think from that point of view, having some online thing that is live and it's bespoke, and it's not just going onto YouTube for a video, it's actually something that you are part of. It's the future, it's the now, it's now and the future. So I think that having the certainly something like that in your life, if you're interested in making in your health and well-being, is going to be a necessity for keeping strong in your mind and your body.
Yeah, definitely. And you're one of our avid book club members as well.
Oh, yes.
We have a book club. We get together every 2 weeks now, isn't it? And get through our books, and that's really enjoyable. And that's really nice as well, because it brings people together and you make friendships outside of this sort of workout environment, which then can, you can then bring that into when you're doing your workouts. You've just got to know people a little bit better in order to support them.
Sure. We have a real laugh, don't we? I mean, the amount of giggles that we have, just even pronouncing certain names and things like that.
I know exactly what you're thinking.
Yeah.
We do. So, Elaine, what would you say to people who are a little unsure, A, about an online workout program, and B, about Backstage specifically? What would you say to them about, making that decision, whether it's for them or not?
Hey, I'm the world's worst at decision making. My family will endorse that purely, absolutely. But I think it came to, it actually showed me when, after doing the 5 days, and I, realizing that I could give it a go for a few weeks in case I was wrong, but it actually came across to me that this particular sort of system was something that there was no hidden agenda, there was no sort of hidden cost, there were no things where you realise that really in the background it's been some cult trying to manipulate you or anything like that. There was no,
I'm not a cult leader.
Like I didn't get those kind of vibes, and I thought, well, if after a month I do get anything like that, I can opt out. And really, that's the difference between some things that do pop up on your Facebook feed, that you think, hang on a minute, I've tapped on that because I'm interested, and all of a sudden I'm expected to pay sort of $300 for something that, you know, and there is no hidden agenda. It is what it says. And the proof is actually, if you try it, you've just got to do it. You've just got to try it. And you've just got to make that decision. It's either a yes or it's a no. You know that you've got a limited time to sort of sign up for this session. And so why not? Why not try it? And you've got nothing to lose, really. So.
Yeah. Thank you, Elaine. That's great advice. And I really appreciate you coming and chatting with us. I think it's really valuable, and it's interesting to me to hear about. I understand that people can be skeptical about finding things online. I get that. I have it myself. And that's why I want to bring the Backstage members on, because, you know, we don't script this. We don't have a chat beforehand about what's going to be said, because I want people to hear from people who have, you know, did the challenge way back and experienced the same feelings that they're experiencing, made the decision to put themselves first. And as you say, there's nothing to lose. You can cancel any time. And it's not difficult to do that. And that, you know, you're now reaping the benefits from having made that decision. I think it's very helpful for people out there to make that decision rather than listening to me telling people how amazing it is. That's why I love having the Backstage members involved in sharing their experience as well. So I really
You're
appreciate
very open, Sarah, to actually sort of, when we have requests, or if we say, you know, wouldn't it be a good idea if we could find out a little bit more about this? You always seem to take it on and go away, see what you can find and come back. And so it's really quite an interactive kind of experience. And so for any people who are considering it, thinking, well, I think I'm quite an expert in this particular thing, well, great, you know, bring it on.
Yeah, join. We'll have you do a chat. Yeah. I think that because at the end of the day, I want everyone inside my community to get the most they can get out of their lives. I want them to be able to future-proof their bodies, understand their bodies now, what they can do. And so if people say to me, actually, I'd really love to learn more about X, I will go and find an expert and bring them in to talk to you about them, to talk to you about those issues and give you the opportunity to ask questions as well. So it is interactive. I ask on a fairly regular basis, right, what workouts are you enjoying? What do you want to see more of? And then I go and film them. So, but I want that. There's no point in me guessing what people want and, you know, giving it to you if you're like, well, that's not really helpful. So for me, it is, you know, you're there and I ensure that you get what you need at the time. So yeah, absolutely. It is open. And we try and do our best to make sure that everyone gets what they need, for sure. So thank you for that. I really appreciate your time. The membership closes on Tuesday at 10 p.m. So if you are thinking about joining, please do. I'll pop the link above this video. If you've got any questions, you can post underneath this video. Elaine might be able to answer those questions if you've got any questions for her specifically. But if not, you can message me as well. And yes, we'll be chatting to a few more people before the doors close on Tuesday. So keep your eye out for those videos. So thank you, Elaine. I really appreciate that. And I'll speak to you soon.
Okay.
Bye.